The question here is, I told you before that the user comes and selects what they are interested in. Now for every of these interests, I want to decide what pins should belong to that interest. So I can give them like an endless flow of pins. So this means, to what interest does a given pin belong to? So what I want to do is, I want to look at the pin and decide, is this about women's fashion, is it about food and drink, or is it about geek? Right? And I would in some sense like to classify this pin into one of the categories or one of the classes. Okay? So what I want to do is I want to build a black box that will take a look at the pin and will decide which of these interests or topics should it belong to. And the simple way to think about this is that this is maybe 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 class classification problem, right? So very simple from stating the problem. Solving it is very hard. Here are some reasons why this is hard, right? So first is that some of these topics, some of these interests are very general and some are very specific, right? So food is a very general interest, but lower back gray and white tattoos is a very specific topic, right? So another important thing is that these topics have huge imbalance in sizes, right? So for example, food is one of the most popular categories or topics on Pinterest, and it's like, I think it's around 10% of all pins or even more are about food. And then you have these very small things that are 0.001% of the data, because they are these very, like Eastern European science fiction book covers. There is tons of those, but still they are very small fraction of data. So how do you detect those? And because you kind of don't know what of these topics are big and small, you don't know that these sizes of these interests in the wild, you kind of tend to over-predict rare topics and under-predict common ones. And the question is, how do you deal with that? And then what becomes interesting here is, how do you scale this to thousands of classifiers, many different languages, how do you maintain this, and so on. So I'll touch upon this as well.